Is it possible that this matter can be resolved without the chairman of the party being removed? Maybe by him changing his ways or something?
But definitely, if it does, why not? But I think they have to be more creative, and they have to be a little bit more. I wouldn't want to use the word "I" because I think I should have respect for them, but a serious thinking has to be put in place for them to actually put their ass in order. Because some of these other factionalizations, they are a little bit disruptive. Look at what is happening in Rivers State. Oh. I don't think the Rivers people are having it the way they want it. You can't have the governor having the sort of problems he's having with the party, with some other people outside the party, and I don't think he's in a position to put in his best.
So governors are taking a hit then?
Yeah.
And it's just, we still have 2014 and 15.
And the worst scenario is that these things are going to get worse the nearer we get to the day.
Wow.
The whole of 2014 up to May 2015, you won't have any serious thinking or energy being put into economic development. Wow. Everything would have to be put into, or will be put into politicking. And that would be at the expense of the citizenry, because what? All that the efforts that are being put into this particular wahala you are having now are not a positive on the development of the country, but a negative. They are taken away. Most of the energy that should have been put into serious thinking for the welfare and the development of everybody is now being put into solving needless political problems.
Is there anything the people can do about this? Because they need governance.
Yes, the people can, but you see, we have a situation here where people don't really know how the connection between them and government to make government do their own bidding. Mind you, I would have been dreaming of a situation where the people would start saying, hey, National Assembly members, we put you there to make sure that these people do their job and don't lose their eye from the block. If they start recalling them, especially those of them that they know have the ears of the president and the president work with them, or those who are actually the linchpin of the party, people start going for the jugular for them to say, hey, come back, because you can't recall the president. You understand? The only mercenary you have, or the only connection between you and the president for the president to work and do your bidding is to have an effective National Assembly.
Ditto for governors?
What?
Ditto for governors?
Definitely.
I was very interested in, the instance you were given about party supremacy and all of that. Because oftentimes when we go to the elections, we're voting the party. Yeah. I want to believe, not the person. So, for instance, if the party should say, we're expelling this individual, how can that individual continue to go? That would definitely not be legal, would it?
It's legal. That's what the law is saying. It's a moral issue. The moral thinking here now is that if you climb on the platform of somebody to get to where you are, don't throw the ladder or ignore that person, then be your own person. That's a moral issue. But legally, or what is the position, is that the moment he is in office, he is a man of his own. So he's not the kind of person you can just...
Is that in our constitution, or is that in the Electoral Act? How did that come about?
That has been the case.
I mean, that could be it in practice. But, in terms of legality, do you think that will be allowed?
It is.
I mean, that should be allowed.
It is. You see, the problem we have here, unlike other places, like, for example, the US we copied from, the Constitution did not bother itself about the political parties. But the political parties create all the norms that form the democracy that you call the American democracy. But here, the Constitution went ahead to say, this is what the political party can do. And the moment he has done that, it has cut off, it has more or less encircled the political party to say, this is how much of you that we've realized, and this is how much of you we've identified and accepted as your roles. Beyond that, you cannot go that. If, for an example, we had a situation where the political parties were given the sort of leeway and the responsibility as we have in America, for an example, you could have had that. Take a look at party primaries in the US. They adhere strictly to the rules and norms of democracy. So much so that the moment the primaries are done in America, the rhythm for the election goes down, because you no longer find the sort of interplay of interest as you have during the primaries, even within the party itself. You understand? But here, after that party primaries, whereby they just see that there is no procedure, whereby the party takes the people, their candidate to the people and tell the people that this is our person. They sit overnight. In the morning, they throw a candidate at you. You don't have any opportunity, no chance to actually have a reality check on him, to know him before you put your vote for him. There is no procedure for that. All you have is a candidate overnight, and you have what? A choice among devils.
Do you think that this also explains why a host of people say that our political parties do not have ideologies? Because if they have no influence whatsoever on the person who's occupying a particular position when he gets there, how is the person supposed to even be espousing, assuming the party had an ideology, espousing the ideologies of the party? Or how can the party even ensure that that person is actually following on the ideologies of the party?
I entirely agree with that reason. It's not going to be enforceable. There is no way you're going to have him to be like your messenger or agent or your vehicle through which you sell your own ideologies to the people. In the earlier republics, you have, for example, the AG, the Action Group.
Yeah.
You understand? They had their own ideologies, and almost everybody who was a product of the AG had what? Free education in their states, and they follow it to the letter. You understand? Then the members or the product of the parties were narrow to the party. You also have an inkling of that with AD. You understand? The Southwest states, they were very close to the party, because I think the relationship between the office holders and the party was a little bit tighter than what you had with the PDP. The PDP has spread wide and thin, and therefore they have very little hold on their own public officers. And that is the problem they are having. I would also think that it is nemesis catching up with them. You understand? Because I would rather have a very small, tight, neat, productive, and beneficial political association than for us to say we are the biggest party in Africa, and yet those of you who make up the party structures or the party hierarchy, you have very little hold on. Beyond denying them getting back to office tomorrow by not giving them the party flag, there is nothing you can do. There is no sanction that is effective as at now.
Food for thought for the party, so let them think on that and see how they can correct it. As well as Nigerians who also eventually go to vote. Mr. Sankpagbo, thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right.